Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to Salon here. I don't know what it is lately with me feeling like I need to sing at the beginning of my videos. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna groove into every video from now on, I guess. Um, so we're back in Sulani, as I said, and I can't. I know I tweeted this, but I can't be stopped. And here we are, renovating. I almost said reviewing, and I'm like, I'm not reviewing anything. Renovating this lot, which is originally called Pier Perfection, and I renamed it Petite Pier, I believe. And okay, so here's my thing. I know I'm like making a lot of videos right now, but it's for several reasons. One, I've like hit a streak and I just don't want to stop building things. But also, I don't want to, I don't know, when I make something, I'm excited to share it and I don't want to make a ton and then have them all. She's like, well, here's one this week, here's one this week. And I've done like 12 things and then you don't see them until 4 months from now. So I might be dumping a lot of videos pretty frequently lately. I would say don't get terribly used to it. All I'm guaranteeing right now is one video a week. But if I have time to put out extra videos, I'm going to put out extra videos. And I think I will have several extra based on what I'm doing right now. I kind of have set a goal for myself to fill slash renovate slash makeover the entirety of Sulani like yesterday. So I did my boat store build, which I was just waiting. It's like when cats and dogs came out, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for the pack to drop so I could build my cat cafe. Now, I was waiting and waiting and waiting for my chance to play Island Living so that I could build my boat store. So we did that. And now I've been exploring the lots and renovating them. I don't know what I'll do next. I don't know if I will do another renovation next or another build or even a makeover. Maybe I'll do a makeover next. I don't know. We shall see. But let's talk about this build. So, what I did with this is meant to be a starter home, and I might have messed that up a little bit because it costs like 19,000 something. And you'll notice I had the lot info open the whole time because I was trying to keep track of how much the lot cost because I was trying my hardest and failing miserably at trying to keep this as a starter home price range. I didn't make it. I'm sorry. It just didn't work out. And I don't know exactly where it went wrong because it's still so sparse, but in a good way. And so it went from like 19,000 simoleons to like 33, 32, something like that. But I tried, and that's all that matters, right? It's just a step up. I don't know. I never said that I would. That's the one thing is like I'm trying to make this save, and I do all these builds, and then I'm realizing slowly I'm like I don't think anybody could afford any of these builds from the like when you start the game. So I'm trying to work on that. We'll see what I do. I mean, obviously, you could go and when you move in, just do unfurnished. But sometimes the furnished part's the fun, right? But anyway, so you'll see here, I started working on the outside first, and I one of the things I noticed is this was just like a straight little dude, and I wanted to make it more dynamic. So you'll notice I changed the shape a little bit in various places. I brought the bathroom out. I brought in a little wedge with the kitchen to kind of give some separation so it wasn't just one giant room, even though it was still one giant room. And I was working from the start on that back kind of deck area, and I was trying to like create a palette. So I was laying out furniture and things I wanted to use. I don't know how much of that stuff I actually ended up using, but I had the grand plans. And then I watched the price of the build go up, and I was like, okay, let's make it beautiful but nice. Like, okay, that made no sense. But not 100,000 simoleons, essentially. My favorite part of this thing is the kitchen. And the kitchen is just, I don't know, it's just quiet, if that makes sense. It's just so clean and nice. And you'll notice I made a kitchen island, even though we haven't had the patch that'll add in the island that goes with those counters. I did put in an island in quotes with the countertops and then just put two of those bongo stools in front of it because I wanted an island and I wasn't gonna wait. So here's my kitchen island. So if you download this and then after the patch you replace it, I won't be offended because I don't know if I'll update like my gallery posting or anything for that. And then like I said, I wanted to keep the or at least when I renovate things, I generally like to keep the integrity of the structure unless they've got something crazy going on. Park Shore, those weird rooms. And so I left it as like this open kind of studio thing. And honestly, I'm playing with the idea of making this a rental lot in my game instead of like a home that you would buy. I mean, obviously, you could change that, but it just maybe it's like the Airbnb attitude I gave this place where it's just so crisp and nice and put together. But I would rent it. I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I'm feeling. And I made a TV stand. I know a lot of people have been doing this, but you know what? I'm jumping on it. Made a TV stand with those floating shelving units, like a whole IKEA moment. And one of my favorite things I did, which is probably something unnecessary that helped drive the price of this lot up, is I took that outdoor shower and the way they had the bathroom set up was it was half wood and then half this pebble tile. And I was like, okay, but what if it was like a whole like two-person shower closet type deal? And so I closed it in with windows and that glass door. And I like it. I like it a lot. But you know what? That shower, I don't think it's very cheap. And those windows weren't exactly like the best price to make, or best price, the best purchase to make if I was on a budget. But that's okay because look how cute it is. And you know what's something that really just really fixed this lot for me? Not that it was broken, it was cute, it was just kind of empty. Was separating out those windows that they had like pushed together and then adding curtains to everything. And I used kind of that like basic swatch, and by that I mean the swatch that it shows in the preview in the build buy mode. And I loved it. It was just so, I don't know, it was just nice. I don't want to say simple like 30 times, but kind of. The one thing that I have noticed building in Sulani and with all the island living stuff is that we didn't get a lot of houseplants. And I was kind of hoping for a lot of houseplants. We've got that big broadleaf thing, and then we have the tall one in the more narrow cylindrical vase. And I just want like three more things. I don't know. So like I'm sure you noticed in my boat store build, I was taking those plants and then scaling them up and down to fit them into other vases that came with the pack and things. And yeah, I don't know. I also put a ladder in there. The ladders actually aren't expensive, but I probably could have cut costs by not putting the ladder in there. But I just thought it made the deck nice, you know? And I added those glass tiles to the deck just because even though the deck is still fairly empty, you could add to it, but even empty, it looks nice. And there's just like a little like sun tanning moment with the lounge chair and things. And one thing I did is I was going to take down the little, it's not a cover, it was just kind of a frame that they had on the back deck. And instead, I wanted to use those pergolas, but I was like, those are really, well, I don't actually know off the top of my head how many simoleons they cost. But I was like, that's gonna drive the price up. And that was in the beginning, so I was like, oh, I can do this for like 20,000 simoleons. Veronica, don't kid yourself. And so I used fencing to create like a pergola type thing and then still like add interest to and maybe a little purpose to that without completely changing the thing. And I don't know honestly if it would have been cheaper to just use the pergolas, but I like how it looks. The one thing is that I don't know what it is, but the fences don't cast shadows. And I've definitely seen videos where people do that, use the fences to create a pergola structure, like before we had those pergolas, and they cast shadows. So what is up with this? And I screwed around with the outside a lot because the one thing that was going on was there wasn't a lot of contrast. And so while I did change the outside an incredible amount, I think I did add just a tiny bit more contrast and make it just a nice little place to hang out and be at the beach. I know the inside's pretty, I guess, modern, but I don't imagine at the same time that the person living in this house would spend a lot of time there because they'd be out in the water. aqua zipping around and stuff. But anyway, the screenshots are rolling, so I'm gonna let you go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more builds like this. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go. See you in the next video. Bye!